There are a bunch of new comics coming out tomorrow, so let's talk about the ones on my pull list. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. You're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. This is the latest in the series that I like to call What I'm Getting, where I take a look at the books coming out. I tell you what's on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list I'm making a game day decision on. So this week, there are a lot of books coming out, a lot of exciting books coming out, but none that I'm more excited for than Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths issue number 7, the final issue, the shocking conclusion to the Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, written by, who's writing Dark Crisis? Joshua Williamson, with art by Daniel Sampere. Dark Crisis has been pretty good. Basically, we had Pariah, who raised up the Dark Army. We got Deathstroke, who was not willing to accept that the battle is over. And so we're going to have this final confrontation between the Deathstroke and the Dark Army. And all of our heroes. Of course, the Justice League is back. And so we get to see this final showdown between, the DC universe and its villains. We already know that the Infinite Earths are back. We know that whatever world you want to see in the DC universe exists somewhere. That's already out, but we got to figure out just how this concludes and what this means for the future of the DC universe as we go into the dawn of the DCU starting in January. So Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, issue number 7 has a cover price of $5.99. I'm going to grab the cover A. And since we're talking about DC Comics, let's move on to the next book on the list from Mark Waid. This is Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 10. I believe I'm an issue behind on this, so I'm going to jump on that DC Universe app as soon as this is done to get caught up. But Sal from Comic Pop actually read an advanced copy of this and was like, you're going to want to grab this issue because there's a big revelation about the new sidekick somehow. So, yeah, I'm excited to get caught up on this. This book has been really interesting, written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora. This one's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. Now, Batman Superman World's Finest kind of goes hand in hand with this next book, and that is Batman vs. Robin. Issue number 4 is out this week, also written by Mark Waid. This one's got art by Mahmoud Asrar, who I love on this book. It's Batman versus Damian and the rest of the Bat family. This is going to be the climax issue. It's only a 5-issue mini, but we're going to get the final showdown between Batman and Damian. And hopefully in the next issue, they reconcile and we finally get Damian Wayne as Robin. But then again, maybe we won't, because Tim Drake is definitely Robin in the ongoing Batman series. And I don't know how the timing on all this matches up. Maybe we'll find out more in Dark Crisis as we kind of establish exactly what the timeline is. But either way, this should be a nice, fun, action-packed issue with great art. And this one also has a cover price of $5.99. I should probably start taking more advantage of this unlimited subscription because these prices are getting crazy. I'm grabbing cover A on this one, though. And next book on the pull list is Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 5. Look, I was not crazy high on this particular installment of the Deceased franchise, but they pulled me in with issue 4. The action has been good. It's always had a bit of heart and shock value. But with issue 4, it was you got some great moments between Alfred and basically the rest of the Bat family, but really Alfred and Damian in that last issue. And they signed Alfred up for the fight. But then also the stakes are just getting crazier. You don't know what's going to happen with this. This is basically the New Gods have been infected by the anti-life virus. So Darkseid and the New Gods and all these cosmic entities are barreling toward, our DC heroes and trying to basically turn the anti-life equation to rule the galaxy or the multiverse or whatever we're going to call it. There was a very cool moment between the Guardians of Oa and Superman in the last issue. And Guy Gardner gets a great line there. Anyway, this isn't a review of issue number 4. The point is, I'm on board with this series. They hooked me with issue 4. So issue 5, I'm really excited about. I don't know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen in one of these Tom Taylor Elseworlds, but it's going to be fun. Cover price on this one's $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that brings us to The Flash, issue number 789. Now, I can't lie. I've fallen a little bit behind on Flash ever since they finished the Dark Crisis tie-ins, because I've been trying to just stay on the Dark Crisis event. But as I've been catching up, basically we got a new member of the Flash family that has superpowers, which is great. And then there's also like a new mayor or mayoral candidate rising up to be the mayor of Central City? Coast City? There are too many cities in DC that sound the same. But anyway, whatever. Flash's cities has a new mayor, and apparently he's up to some sinister deeds. So they're gonna come up face to face eventually. Maybe in this issue, maybe in the next one. And by the time that happens, I'll be caught up. Flash issue 789. By the way, Flash has got to be like most underrated series at DC right now. It's at least top 3 in quality series every single month, if not top 2. I think I've got it right behind Tom Taylor's Nightwing. And depending on the issue, it kind of flip-flop. If you're not checking out this series, you definitely need to be. But anyway, that one's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And the last book on the DC pull list, speaking of, is Nightwing, issue number 99. So I told you guys that I was trying to figure out, like, okay, how are we going to really get some, how are we padding these issues up until 100? Comes out in January. Obviously, issue 100 is going to like mark like a sort of new status quo, a new milestone. But between issues 98 and 90 or 97 and 98, I was like, what's going on? They introduced the Nightmite imp in the last issue, and that was a fun and funny issue. But there's still a void. There's still like a power void where we've already defeated Heartless and Blockbuster. And there's this threat of Heartless coming to take the top spot as the villain. And we're going to see another villain try to take the top spot on top of, Bloodhaven in this issue. And it's going to be Tony Zuko. So that should be a fun issue. But honestly, I feel like this series is kind of just biding time until issue 100, but that's fine because each issue is still fun. This has got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that is it for my DC Comics pull list. If I just stick to the list, and what reason do I have not to? My DC books are going to cost me $28 this week. Now, let's move on to Marvel, where the first book on the pull list is Black Panther, issue number 12. Look, you guys, if you've been watching this, you know that I've not been crazy high on the John Ridley Black Panther run. I feel like there's a lot of self-loathing going on. I feel like everybody hates T'Challa, but in issue 11, we get a revelation about the villain of this run. And let's just say it hits really close to home. And in this next issue, issue 12, we're going to start to see the ramifications of just how close to home this villain hits. The Avengers don't know if they can trust T'Challa. You see T'Challa's all sadly walking away. Apparently, he's not going to be on the Avengers. And I'm honestly excited to see how it happens and what the recovery looks like over the next 5-6 issues. So definitely kind of a slow burn, but a quality series. Black Panther number 12's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And speaking of Black Panther, we've got Wakanda, issue number 3 out this week. I don't remember who's writing this one, but each issue is a one-shot featuring a different sort of member of the Black Panther supporting cast. This week, we're getting a Killmonger story, which works for me. I like Killmonger. Because, T'Challa's kind of been taken off the board in Wakanda, we get all these different stories, and that's the A story. But the B story is this ongoing history of the Black Panther, written by Evan Narcisse. And that is actually the draw to the series. It's really like a sort of, Black Panther annotated kind, if you will. So I really enjoy that. Wakanda number 3's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And the last book on the Marvel Comics pull list this week is Wolverine, issue 28. You guys know I have a love and hate relationship. I've been up and down on this series, but some shocking stuff is going on between Wolverine and Beast. We found out. Spoilers for issue 27. but we found out that Beast is basically like harvesting Wolverines and like basically like controlling him so that he doesn't know that Beast is using him to fulfill certain dark agendas. This is crazy. Let's just talk about how evil Beast is and how that is like, why would Beast ever be this evil? But anyway, Logan's gonna find out eventually. He's got to. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. If it's gonna happen in this issue, if it's gonna happen in the pages of X-Force. Either way, Benjamin Percy, I am quite intrigued. So Wolverine issue 28's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that's it. That's it for the Marvel books on the pull list. If I stick to the list, those are just going to cost me $12 this week. Now, let's move on to the indies on my list, where the first up is Gunslinger Spawn, issue 15. Gunslinger Spawn, written by Todd McFarlane, art by Brett Booth. As much as I like, sort of like ride on the Spawn titles and how they're like, not my jam, I really always keep one on the pull list because they always look good. And Gunslinger Spawn is my favorite of them. It's just a straightforward action book that you don't need to like take too seriously, but you'll love looking at. So Gunslinger Spawn 15, still on the pull list, got a cover price of $2.99. I'm grabbing cover A. Next up is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 103. I can't remember who's writing this series either, but I actually missed out on issue 102. When I say I missed out, I mean I bought it and then I don't know where I put it. So haven't read issue 102 yet. I really got to stop doing that. I keep losing my single issues. If only there was a way to read all of the issues and not have to like carry a bunch of them with you. Only someone would invent some sort of a device that you could just buy all your comics on. But anyway, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers has been interesting. I read issue 101 and I liked the premise enough. Issue 101 was my first issue in the Power Ranger series, so shame on me for not reading the other last 5 years of comics or whatever it was. But anyway, here we are with issue 103 this week with a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And finally, the last book on the pull list this week is The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue number 53. You guys know, I'm only buying this series so that I can make a custom Walking Dead hardcover series where it's all in color. That's just a fun project. It's a project that I've had in my mind since they started printing these, and I should probably get to work on the binding. I've kind of been afraid to bind them before the series wraps, because what if they like don't continue it? Then I could have just sold them off to somebody instead of binding them. But whatever. Anyway, Walking Dead Deluxe issue 53 is out this week. Cover price is $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. So that brings my indie total for the week up to $11. And that means my grand total is just over budget at $51 this week. But with my 10% subscriber discount, it'll be around 48 after taxes. So I'm not mad at that. Still a pretty decent week. Lots that I'm excited about. Again, I'm most excited to see how Dark Crisis wraps up. But this Batman vs. Robin and Batman Superman World's Finest have all been interesting. They are both supposed to be leading up to the whole Lazarus Planet event. So I'm definitely invested in that. I'm invested in Wolverine and surprisingly invested in Black Panther. So it's going to be an exciting week and I got a lot of reading to do. Hope you guys saw something you liked in this video. Special thanks to all the channel members that make it possible. We got a new channel member. We got Android Topic just joined the channel squad. So huge shout out to you and everyone else that makes content on this channel possible. I'll see you guys in another video soon. Till then, hope you saw something you liked in this one. If not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.